Hey everybody, it's been a while. It's weird trying to talk on camera for the first time again. I'm feeling slightly anxious, but I just wanted to talk about kind of the process for me of not posting. And honestly, this is gonna be more for me than for anybody. But I feel like I've made a lot of realizations since we moved to Missoula over a year ago from Trout Creek, moving from, originally Lewiston to the middle of nowhere with my parents, which was amazing, and then moving to Missoula and testing that out for the past year, which has not been quite amazing. But throughout this whole thing, I've been trying to post, and I've struggled with it. And I had a lot of reasons bordering just pure excuses, right? Which is what they always are, right? And I just kind of wanted to go through them, list what I'm thinking and what my goals are for future videos, because I'm kind of going to change what I've done in the past. I feel like I've always been trying to think about what do other people want and what's my niche, all of these different things, and I just don't think it's working for me anymore. And that's part of why I want to start posting again, but doing it differently. And I feel like I've even made a video like this before, but we'll see. This will be my first video in Missoula, so I'll explain part of that. But okay, so when we moved, I pretty much just quit posting and couldn't get the motivation. And the only videos I've posted since then, excuse the squeaky chair, sorry. The only videos that I've posted since then have actually been when we go visit my parents' house. And it's just this weird situation where it's about a 2-hour drive to my parents. And in that time, I'll just suddenly start to be filled with inspiration to post. And as we leave, it's like something's being sucked out of me. And like all of my motivation, all of my inspiration just leaves. And it feels easy just to write this off, but when I go to my parents, I literally have no problem. And then when I'm here, there is. So I kind of want to talk about those feelings and some of the things I figured out with it and what I think will help me post more in the future. So one of the things is it's felt pointless. So when we're at my parents' house, I was living in paradise, and I'm like, what can I do to stay in the position that I'm in? So whenever I'm visiting, I'm like, oh, if I could make, money off YouTube, well, then I could stay here. And that was super motivating. Well, here in Missoula, there's a sense of well, if I become successful, then on YouTube, and let's just say I'm making money from it, what changes? We're still where we're at, and we're not happy. Which is totally backwards, because if I was able to do well on YouTube, that would just change our situation in general, which would then allow me, within a period of time for us to get somewhere that we would like to be. But there's just this feeling of pointlessness of, well, we'll still be where we're at even if I do succeed. Whereas when I'm at my parents, I'm like, we get to stay here. So I hope that makes sense. Even seeing the irrationality in my statement, it's still been a struggle to kind of get past that feeling of blockage. But as Sierra and I have figured out what we want to do and where we want to go, I feel like that blockage has kind of solved itself. And I've gotten a job now, and I'm working. So now there's kind of this sense of well, I don't have to just completely succeed with YouTube. I'm going to use a different chair last time. It's very distracting. There's this sense that, no, we know where we want to go and we can get there. And maybe, what's great about YouTube is no matter what I do in the future, it can stay with me no matter where I'm at. And that kind of leads me to some of my next point, which is whenever I would think about it, I felt like I needed to create this perfect video, which is why I'm making this video. Not perfect. In my basement, which has a lack of inspiration to me. I loved posting videos outside before, just in this beautiful area. It felt amazing. Not having everything ready perfectly, not having a program to even edit this video. I won't be editing this video. I won't even be posting it. I will have Sierra. She will be posting it, and maybe looking at the comments and stuff. So I'm trying to remove myself from those things that are blockages and just focus on making the video, especially with a lack of time in the first place to even do those things with a job. It kind of works out. But the trying to be perfect is something I've struggled with for a long time. And it's funny because I've known, like, if I can just figure out a niche, if I can just get specific, if I can just know what I want to post at. Because at my parents' house, I was posting videos of like, well, if we were going to start a homestead in the future, what would I need to learn? Microgreens, growing a garden, even just things like whittling, cold plunging, all these things that I love and wanted to do, working out. But then here, there's just a sense of lack of that, where I'm like, yeah, I guess I could do microgreens in the window, or I could do some, garden pots in the yard, but it just seems pointless to do in such a way. And so my niche has had to completely change from posting almost like me learning stuff video to maybe just talking. And so I finally, only yesterday, came up with an idea, and I feel like it's enough for me to be like, okay, I can do that. And it's not really even an idea. Essentially, it is writing out day one of trying to find my niche and then talking about things. I've had this strange thing with YouTube where I feel like if I post a video about something, then my next videos have to relate to that. And I feel like I push myself into a box. So I can't just like talk to the camera. Like if I make a microgreens video and I get a bunch of followers from it, like 20 followers, let's say, a bunch is a strong word, then I need to make more microgreens video because that's what those people are expecting. But I also need to do something that I'm actually willing to do and that I will do. And, microgreens maybe in the future, but not really, right? So I'm kind of just go along with that theme. And I think that will allow me to, and it's what a lot of people suggest with YouTube, is that like, everybody's like, find your niche, you have to be very specific, but then you see a bunch of people who don't find their niche and they post about a wide variety, which almost becomes a niche of themselves. And then you find people who post about everything, and slowly their content comes together. And I think that's my goal, almost like starting over, pretending like I haven't posted to YouTube before, and just like day one, and day two won't be like tomorrow, it will be when I do the second one, and just like continually thinking about just any video that I could make. And I think that in the process, I'll make some really boring videos and I'll fail a bunch, but it will help me figure out what I want to do like long term and a niche that I could move towards. So maybe I'll find it in 10 or 100 videos, but that's kind of just the goal, is to post even if I feel like it. And what I found is I have no sense of what people want. The videos that I'm like, oh, I just want to make this video because I want to make it, will sometimes be the video that does amazingly well. And I just sat down, talked to the camera, had fun. Whereas another video, I will put countless hours into like trying to plan out every little thing, doing all of these things and like research and like, oh, this is what people are watching, and it will do horrible. Of course, both can do horrible. And so it's like, I might as well do what I'm going to continuously do for a long period of time instead of trying to find it out. And then if I'm doing things that I'm interested in, maybe I'll gather people that are also interested in those things. And so I just want to get away from the idea of making videos for other people and make videos that I'm interested in. And if I can find a direction or a niche, then that would be amazing. So, the entire goal of this video is for potentially no one to watch it, but for me to get past the point of just making a video here, making a video that's not perfect. Every word isn't planned out. I had like a couple small little points, and there's no script, there's no nothing. It's just me talking to the camera. It won't be edited, and hopefully through this, there's no promise of when I will make my next video. And I love it. And there's no like promise of what niche. I have no idea. I'm just going to talk about something I'm interested in next time. And I just want one final point as I'm looking at this was I had this weird switch when we moved to Missoula too, where I felt like I needed to focus on earning money through it. And I think that was really the wrong path to walk down. And every time I've ever focused on that, when I started my own business in Lewiston and I was doing like social media and stickers and all of these things, whenever I tried to focus on it from a money aspect instead of just a giving as much as I possibly could, I always failed. When I just gave, then it would come. And so I have no like, I want to sell this thing, I want to make money from it. I just want to talk, post videos, and the way that YouTube works, potentially I will earn ad revenue in a year, 10 years, whenever. But hopefully I can just continue to stay consistent, post. And maybe if we ever get to that place where I am truly inspired again, then I will be happy that even if I posted randomly, I continued to post no matter what. So that's everything for today. I'm hoping to continue, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can improve this setup a little with the squeaking chair and the background, but no promises. So talk to you next time.